Planning a trip to Texas? Looking for adventure, culture, and unforgettable experiences? Well, before we get to our main scary and haunted topic, I've got 3 incredible destinations you absolutely need to add to your itinerary. First up, Lake Mineral Wells State Park, where nature lovers can explore rugged trails, conquer impressive rock climbing walls, and camp under the stars. It's the perfect outdoor escape just a short drive from Dallas-Fort Worth. Next, we're heading to the Museum of the Americas in Weatherford. This hidden gem showcases stunning Native American art and artifacts from across the Western Hemisphere. Small but packed with cultural richness, it's an educational journey you won't forget. And if you're craving some adrenaline, Boulder Adventure Park in Grand Prairie has you covered. Indoor climbing walls, zip lines, and obstacle courses that'll challenge thrill seekers of all ages, rain or shine. But there's one more location near these attractions that you might want to visit. Or maybe avoid entirely. Because tucked away in Mineral Wells, Texas, there's a Victorian mansion that's been terrifying visitors for over a century. Have you ever walked past a house and felt chills run down your spine for no reason at all? What if I told you there's a house in Mineral Wells, Texas, that has been making people feel that way for over a century? Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're diving deep into one of Texas's most mysterious and haunted locations. I'm talking about the infamous Haunted Hill House in Mineral Wells. This isn't just any old spooky story. We're talking about real documented paranormal activity, multiple investigations, and a history so dark it'll make your skin crawl. So grab your favorite drink, maybe turn on a light, and let's explore the secrets of this terrifying Texas mansion. But first, if you love content about haunted places and paranormal mysteries, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Trust me, you don't want to miss what we uncover today. Let's start with where this whole nightmare began. The Hill House sits on a piece of land that locals have whispered about for generations. Built in the late 1800s, this Victorian-style mansion was originally the dream home of a wealthy oil baron named Samuel Hill. Samuel moved to Mineral Wells with his wife Margaret and their 3 children in 1889. Back then, Mineral Wells was booming because of its famous healing waters. People came from all over the country seeking cures for their ailments. Samuel thought he was building a paradise for his family. He spent a fortune on the finest materials, imported marble, and hand-carved wooden details. The house had 12 rooms, a grand staircase, and beautiful stained glass windows. But paradise quickly turned into a living nightmare. The trouble started just 6 months after the family moved in. Their youngest daughter, 8-year-old Emily, fell down the main staircase and broke her neck. She died instantly. Margaret was devastated and blamed the house for taking her baby girl. She started hearing Emily's voice calling for help from different rooms. Samuel tried to comfort his wife, but even he couldn't deny the strange sounds echoing through the halls at night. Within a year, their middle child, 12-year-old Thomas, developed a mysterious illness. The doctors couldn't figure out what was wrong with him. He would wake up screaming about shadows in his room and refuse to sleep alone. Thomas died 3 months later, and the official cause was listed as unknown. Margaret completely lost her mind after losing 2 children. She spent her days talking to empty rooms and setting places at the dinner table for Emily and Thomas. Samuel found her one morning at the bottom of the same staircase where Emily died. The local sheriff ruled it a suicide, but Samuel swore his wife would never have done such a thing. He packed up his remaining son and left Mineral Wells the next day. The house sat empty for nearly 20 years. Samuel refused to sell it, and locals were too scared to go near the property. Kids would dare each other to run up and touch the front door, but most couldn't make it past the front gate. In 1915, a family from Dallas bought the house without knowing its dark history. The Johnson family thought they were getting a steal on a beautiful Victorian mansion. They had 4 children and were excited to start fresh in a new town. Their happiness lasted exactly 2 weeks. The children complained about cold spots in their bedrooms and toys moving by themselves. Mrs. Johnson found handprints on dusty surfaces that were too small to belong to any of her kids. The final straw came when their youngest son claimed a little girl was visiting him at night. He described Emily Hill perfectly, down to the blue dress she was buried in. The Johnson family packed up and left in the middle of the night. They never came back for their belongings. The house changed hands several more times over the next few decades. Every family experienced the same terrifying phenomena. Objects would fly across rooms, doors would slam shut on their own. The temperature would drop by 20 degrees in certain areas of the house. But the most disturbing reports always centered around the children. Multiple families reported their kids talking to invisible friends who matched the descriptions of Emily and Thomas Hill. Some children would disappear for hours, only to be found in locked rooms they couldn't have accessed on their own. In 1962, paranormal investigators got their first official chance to study the Hill House. A team from the University of Texas spent 3 nights in the mansion. They brought recording equipment, cameras, and temperature monitoring devices. What they captured changed everything. The investigators recorded the clear voices of children calling for their parents. They photographed shadowy figures on the main staircase. Their equipment registered temperature drops of up to 30 degrees in Emily's former bedroom. But the most chilling evidence was a recording made at 3:17 a.m. on their second night. You can hear a child's voice asking, "Why won't Mama come play with us?" The voice was coming from an empty room. Word of the university investigation spread, and the Hill House became famous among ghost hunters. In the 1970s and 80s, dozens of paranormal teams visited the property. Almost every investigation yielded some form of supernatural evidence. One team captured footage of what appears to be a small figure in a blue dress walking down the hallway. Another recorded the sound of children laughing coming from the sealed-off 3rd floor. But not all the activity was harmless. Several investigators reported being pushed downstairs or having heavy objects thrown at them. One team member was hospitalized after claiming something invisible had scratched deep gouges into his back. The house's reputation grew so notorious that it started attracting the wrong kind of attention. Thrill seekers and vandals began breaking in, hoping to experience something supernatural. Most left disappointed, but some had experiences that traumatized them for life. A group of teenagers spent the night in 1987, and one of them never spoke again. His friends said he just kept staring at empty corners and whispering about the children in the walls. By the 1990s, the city of Mineral Wells had to increase security around the property. They installed motion sensors and hired guards to keep people out. But even the security guards reported strange experiences. One guard quit after seeing a woman in white standing in the upper windows. Another claimed he heard piano music coming from inside the house, even though the piano had been removed decades earlier. Modern paranormal investigators have used advanced technology to study the Hill House. Thermal cameras have captured human-shaped heat signatures in empty rooms. Digital voice recorders pick up conversations in what sounds like a family having dinner. EMF detectors go crazy in certain parts of the house, especially near the staircase and in the children's former bedrooms. One of the most recent investigations happened in 2018. A team of professional ghost hunters spent a week in the house with 24-hour surveillance. They documented over 40 separate paranormal events. These included doors opening and closing, objects moving across rooms, and multiple voice recordings. But the most incredible evidence was captured on night 3. Their cameras recorded what appears to be a full-body apparition of a young girl walking down the main staircase. The figure is translucent, but clearly visible, and she seems to be looking directly at the camera. The investigation team leader called it the clearest evidence of life after death he'd ever seen. Local residents have mixed feelings about the Hill House's fame. Some embrace the tourism it brings to mineral wells. Others worry that all the attention is disturbing whatever spirits still reside there. The current owner rarely grants permission for investigations. She says the house has been through enough trauma and deserves to rest in peace. But the stories continue to pour in from people who've had encounters near the property. Drivers report seeing faces in the windows as they pass by. Joggers hear children's laughter coming from the empty yard. Even skeptics admit there's something unsettling about the place. The Hill House stands today as a monument to tragedy and mystery. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, you can't deny the impact this house has had on everyone who's encountered it. The Hill family's tragic story continues to echo through the halls more than a century later. And according to investigators, Emily and Thomas Hill are still waiting for their parents to come home. So what do you think about the Hill House? Would you be brave enough to spend a night there? Let me know in the comments below if you've ever had your own paranormal experience. I love hearing your ghost stories. And who knows, maybe your encounter will be featured in a future video. If you enjoyed diving into this creepy Texas mystery, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow and lets me know you want more haunted content. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss our latest paranormal investigations. Next week, we're exploring another terrifying location that will make your blood run cold. Until then, keep your lights on and sweet dreams. I'll see you in the next one.